We've got Joseph back here, probably playing to his stream as well at the same time. You can see him probably talking to them, trying to. You see him getting hype right now, getting ready to go. All right, and of course, again, we have Richy on the right over there. You can see him with the glove. A lot of the players, if you see them using the glove, that's used for the rolling. You're essentially sliding your fingers on the back of the NES pad all the time, and it just gives you better friction and just better for your fingers that way, to play that way.
Okay,
and
looks like we're ready to go now.
All right.
5, 4, 3,
2, 1.
And Tetris.
Tetris, let's go.
All right, so yeah, looks like things are working out here, and we are off and running into our first game of our first match.
Yeah, as I had mentioned earlier, the Tetris rate that you see there on the right side, the TRT, one of the most important stats that you're going to be looking at due to speed of players playing, etc., etc. It sometimes looks like one player will have a huge lead, but in fact, it's just that they were playing faster. The Tetris rate is usually the best way to determine who has the lead.
Right, and when it breaks down to gameplay, you're really trying to make as many lines as possible that are Tetrises and not anything else, not lines burned, not triples, doubles, or singles.
As you can see right now, Richy's still on 100%, but it's going to drop down a little bit. He's got to do some burning, as you see right now. He's got to, there you go, no problem. And again, players start at level 18, and that's generally the best place to start for the highest score. It's also the rules. And again, level 18, the way that I want to put this is that it's going to look fast to a lot of you people out there. Trust me, this is a casual trotting pace for most of these players here right now.
Yeah, this is sort of like required reading. It's sort of like the build up to even faster speeds that you'll be seeing soon enough. Usually at 130 lines, we call it the transition. They hit level 19, and that's where a lot of the outcomes are determined.
Yep. And also one other note, that when you look at that TRT stat over there, every once in a while you'll see it change into a red number with an eyepiece next to it. That is counting the drought of eyepieces. So in modern Tetris games, they use an RNG called a 7-bag, where you're guaranteed every piece at least every 14 pieces. That is not the case here in Classic Tetris. In Classic Tetris, they give you whatever they feel like. And as a result, you can get a very long drought period where you do not get any eye pieces at all. And that's what that run number on the side will count.
Yeah. And sometimes you'll see both players encountering that, the same drought, especially since they're on same piece sets. And you'll see some players deal with it differently. And it's really how the player sets their stack up to accommodate all sorts of different pieces to be able to survive those droughts.
Nice little last second adjustment there from, you can see the drought right now at 19 pieces, but there you go, finally over there. And one thing also, as I like to mention for everybody at the start of these streams, this is not your modern day Tetris here. When you're watching these guys play, a lot of players are going to sit here and watch it and go, you know what, I can do this. I've done just fine in Tetris Connected. I can play this. Look, this is basically the brutal form of Tetris here in Classic Tetris. The pieces don't, you can't slide the pieces anywhere. As you can see, there's no hold. There's only one preview. There's no, T-spins. There's no cool wall kicks you can do. There's just all sorts of, it's like the brutal version of Tetris, essentially.
Yeah, they developed those modern conveniences later on, and this game was developed and made before any of that. The rotations are very limited, and when something touches another surface, when the piece lands, it locks down instantly, and you can't do anything more with it.
Yeah, and to be clear, there are some T-spins in here, but
Yeah.
obviously not the super fancy T spins, or not even the S or Z spins and such like that you can use in modern Tetris. Those things are not possible.
Richy
So
setting
again,
up a dirty Tetris. Boom, dirty Tetris for Richy. This
nice
game
done.
is incredibly close. Scores are what we call neck and neck, where they're less than a Tetris apart from each other in points differential. So super close game here. 75 and 76% Tetris rate.
Yeah, and one of the things you can see, look how fast the pieces slide over to the side for Richy's screen. And that is as a result of that rolling. The number of moves you want to slide a piece over to the side is determined by just how many fingers you decide to use when you tap the bottom of the controller. And so if you want to, nice little burn right there from Richy, but unfortunately he set himself kind of an awkward gap there in column number 8, which he's gonna clear out here. Probably go for a dirty Tetris. No, actually he can't because there's that gap. Yeah. Okay.
Good use of the long bar. Not gonna make a Tetris with it. May as well create a dependency and fill it in one fell swoop.
Yeah, as you can see right here, Joseph at 76% and Richy at 75%. Now, Joseph has transitioned. Line 130, you mentioned earlier, that's the transition. You can see how fast the pieces are dropping all of a sudden. And this is where the real game starts. And we have something called maxing out, which is essentially getting 999,999 points. And that's what we call max out. But obviously we have the ability to see the score beyond that. So that will not be the limit, but that is definitely something we'll be calling a max out. And it's something to go for. That is basically a standard by which you want to go for. If you have an over 60% Tetris rate, that's what we're going to be calling max out pace.
Yes. So you notice when Richy hit transition, you actually kind of want your board to be lower than that, but Richy, being a roller, was showing no fear, no respect for the speed change, and going all out YOLO, playing super aggressively, being up high and trying to get every single line being a Tetris clear. And that's what we call playing aggressive, and you take a bigger risk when you play that way.
Yep. Oh man, just watching Richy right now, and like you said, just able to play. So again, in the past it was DAS or hyper tapping, and what hyper tapping was just basically just hitting the controller as fast as you can. DAS trying to use the delayed auto shift, the automatic movement of the pieces to the side to the best of your ability. And at these levels, you had limitations with DAS. You had to make sure your stack was never higher than a certain height because the eyepieces just couldn't make it to the side. But with all these new techniques, especially rolling right now, you have the ability to play so much more aggressively.
Okay, check out this score. So Joseph at about 950,000 points is about to max out, about to hit 1 million points here. Amazing pace. And Richy not far behind.
This is level 20. This is at level 25. Yep. Usually you're trying to get, look, most people are maxing out like right before level 29.
Yeah. So this is going to be a massive game here. Joseph having to put weight on the well. He's going to have to burn that off.
Yeah. Shouldn't be a problem for him. Yep, there you go. He's cleared up. He's Tetris ready now.
One more is going to hit max out for him. Where is the log bar? There it is. Boom. Tetris for Joseph. Max out. Boom.
Double max out.
Double max out.
So like I said,
Here
most
we
of
go.
the time you see players try to max out before they get to level 29. And nowadays it's just like you like breathe and we're at max out at level 27. This is ridiculous.
Yeah,
Both
ladies
players.
and gentlemen, this is CTWC 2021. Bars being dropped.
Double max out on game number
1.1 for Joseph already, and still at level 28. Boom, Tetris for Joseph. 1.14. Boom, Tetris for Richy. 105. Joseph,
And
level
this-
29. Let's see this post 29 play here. Holy cow. Where's the log bar? Can Joseph get another Tetris? Can he get another Tetris? And it doesn't give him a long hard time. He tops out Richy now. 107. He's 117 to catch up to Joseph.
This is where Rolling can take advantage, but it's not going to happen.
Not going to be enough. And Joseph takes the first round of our first game in the first match, CTWC 2021. Double max out, double kill screen. Wow.
But we are in for a wild ride today. Let me tell you, we're starting out with a double max out, double kill screen. I mean, remember one of the classic matches from a few years ago was Green Tea and Joseph, and they double kill screen, double maxed out, and we were beside first game today.
What a way to start it out. What a statement by both of these players.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, Tetris.
Game number 2 here between Joseph and Richy, and I just can't even imagine right now how many max outs we're gonna see. And as you can see here, remember when I first said that this is just like a casual trot pace, you can kind of see that now, right? After you watch enough level 19 and then level 29, this pace seems absolutely chill.
Yeah, it's a good build-up. It's sort of makes it compelling to watch because here you get to see, more creative placements. You get to see, cool tucks and solves and really just the versatility of the players and kind of like a play style emerge from them.
Yeah, this is where you want to try to maintain as strong of a Tetris rate as possible. Obviously, when you get to level 19 and it speeds up a little bit, for these players, yeah, they can still keep getting pretty consistent Tetrises, but in general, the strategy is to get your Tetris rate as high as possible before you get there.
Right, and to do that, you kind of have to manage your risks in real time. You have to create a build that accommodates all different pieces while trying to make every line clear a Tetris, if at all possible.
Yeah. One of the cool things is, just through I don't know, just like very strong fortune for the Tetris scene out there. Before, if you wanted to try this out and see how good you could do here with some classic Tetris style, you'd have to go find yourself an NES. Oh, nice little tuck there from Joseph here, and he's going to be able to clean that out. Try to get himself ready for a Tetris. He needs a T piece to do that or a J piece. Otherwise, it's going to be, there it is. There he goes, finally being able to get that set up for a Tetris. But thanks to Tetris Connected, there is a classic versus mode that emulates all of the rules of this classic NES Tetris. So if you guys feel like, oh, I could do this, definitely go try that mode out for a little bit. Fight against the computer, and you will learn very quickly.
Like I said, it's even better than just buying an NES with Tetris because it'll give you a computer AI to fight against, and they'll set things up just like this for the 1v1 format that we use in the CTWC. And you can't really normally get that because you'd have to have 2 Nintendos and 2 Tube TVs or 2 hardware setups to even emulate that or to recreate that in your home. So having Tetris Effect Connected not just sets you up with the game itself, but with the competitive setup.
Yeah,
Richy with that high left side there will be fine if he can burn down the right, which he will.
Yeah, again, playing the stack very high, especially for a roller, is not going to be a problem. As I mentioned, a lot of players who have played modern Tetris with the standard guideline rules, they see the high stack and they're like, yeah, that's fine, that's common, that's not hard to handle. But for classic Tetris, that's actually pretty scary. Except now that we have all this rolling here, it's not that scary to play that high for a lot of these players anymore.
Well, it is still scary because if you mess up the rolling, you'll hang, and that will be probably fatal. But it's that you have the physical tool to possibly get it over.
You see right now, both of these players with amazing Tetris rates still. 76% versus 82%.
Yeah, so once again, a very close competitive game here. You could really see, like right out the gate, their scoring potential and just how aggressive and skilled their play is.
And I mean, both of them at max out pace still. And again, if you guys just got here and missed the first game, you missed a banger of a game there, because we started out with a double kill screen, double max out. Both the players maxing out at level 27.
Yeah, like you don't usually see that. I mean, you know, that's a first game, and that can kind of lead to the impression that that's just how it's played, but really just the performance here is on a whole other level to our other years, just even as we speak.
Yeah, I mean, to be on, oh, nice dirty Tetris from
Dirty,
Joseph.
yeah.
Perfect pieces. Obviously, RNG is going to play a factor in the game, but, you know, a lot of the times the RNG will be in your favor as much as it is against you.
Well, what I'm starting to see is that's some of, you know, the 4D thinking and thinking outside of the blocks. The next gen play is to try to make Tetrises on top of your well. If you have to cover up your well, then to make the burn a Tetris.
Go for those dirty Tetrises. All right, Joseph's got to do a little bit of burning here, but still Tetris rate at 74%. He needs, oh, perfect. He just needed that L piece. And there we go. Boom, Tetris for Joseph. Meanwhile, over there, boom, Tetris now for Richy, and he's still at a blistering 83% Tetris rate. Gonna have to do a little bit of awkward cleaning here, but getting exactly the right pieces to get himself set up for a Tetris. Back to the neutral screen, and boom! And they simul transition!
Yep. Both of them hitting level 19 at the same time, just showing really their kind of some similarities in their playstyle and pace here.
Dude, they are playing at the exact same pace. I can't believe it. This is crazy.
And it's what you need at this level of play. Clean play fields.
You know, we were saying that double kill screen, double max out is not what we commonly see. But maybe that's just not true anymore. Ooh, nice T-spin. See, there you go. There's the T-spins you can still pull off.
Yeah, Joseph getting out of what would normally be a scary situation for any player, just making it easy, making it look easy to get out of.
Yeah, and again, you can see right now, Richy with about a 2 Tetris lead, because he is behind in lines right now. You can see the line. Actually, no, they're even in lines now. Okay, a little bit of a tricky situation here for Richy. He needs a couple of long bars to be able to get himself out of here. Yep, opts for a burn. Meanwhile, Joseph's field looking crisp and clean. Boom, Tetris for Joseph. Trying to catch
both of
up
them
now.
are really playing aggressively and maximizing their scoring potential.
And this is another thing. This is another thing too. In previous years, the players have been able to just kind of look and see what the other score is of their opponent, and based off of that, you know, if they were up by a lot, they can relax, they can, you know, play a little bit more conservatively. That's just all out the window now. I feel like you've got to be playing at the maximum pace possible and maximum efficiency possible, because nobody's going to give you any breathing room anymore.
I think there's a new meta developing in that later on, you have to maintain the aggression because the amount of points rewarded for a Tetris increases. Here we are in the mid-20s and going on to level 29, they get worth more and more. So you can't sleep on making those Tetrises later on.
Now, I don't want to pull off what we call the commentator's curse here at this point in time, but we haven't been seeing a lot of droughts, right?
Max out for Richy.
What?
Already. And max out for Joseph. Double max out.
We're gonna see a double max out, double kill screen. It's gonna come down to, and look at this, Joseph with the lead now, but barely. Actually, that's not even a true lead.
Richy was leading for most of the game before, so Joseph has actually come back from that 2 Tetris deficit.
Yeah, but not a true lead, I would say. Oh my gosh, look how aggressive Joseph is playing. Okay, there we go. Boom, Tetris for simul Tetris now.
Tetris, 1.1 for Joseph, 1.1 for Richy. We are neck and neck.
Dude, there's only 2,000 points apart. Are you kidding me? Here we go.
Richy with the post 29 playing on the kill screen, continuing to make lines. Let's
This
go.
is what rolling does for you. Look at this, even at level 29, going for a Tetris. And this
1.2
right
for Joseph.
here is going to show you why
Oh my goodness.
rolling,
Boom, Tetris for Richy.
rolling
And
is
that's
the
gonna do
future
it.
here.
The post 29 Tetris from Richy seals the deal.
And Joseph saying to himself, I can't believe I kill screen 1.2 and I
my
still
goodness.
lost.
Richy continuing to rain down Tetrises into level 31.
Keep it up. Let's keep going. You've won already, but we want to see if we can get a record for an actual CTWC match.
Oh, triple. And Richy continuing to be able to burn and keep this alive. I mean, it's probably going to end in a top out soon, I think. But look at that potential of the movement with rolling. It's ridiculous. 1.34 is your ending score. Richy taking the second round. GG's. What a ride.
Getting to level 29 might not be enough because of the survivability of the rollers
Yeah.
past 29.
You have rollers who are playing 29 as if it's like a 19 transition, right? Like, it's like, you want to make all your points before the 19 transition? No, now you got to make points before 29. Well, no, now you got to get points past 29. And that's something that, you know, Joseph has started taking up rolling too. So maybe, you know, we're not seeing them being done evolving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's crazy too, because it's like, you know, I'm sitting here talking about surviving, you know, level 29, but Richy was still getting Tetrises.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw several Tetrises post 29, and if that's what's going to take, definitely going, you know, into 2022, people are going to have to up their game.
This is absolute craziness right here. And, you know I'm going to be saying this like the entire day about how crazy this is, but this is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, this is what a ride. What a treat for all of us Tetris viewers and fans. Just seeing great Tetris, and it never stops. I mean, every year just gets more and more crazy, and even when we think that it can't be topped, something new happens.
Yeah. Little bit of an awkward piece is right here. The another term you'll hear every once in a while, the Tetris parity, Parity, for Richy wasn't great. But again, at this pace right now, at this speed, you know, obviously not going to be a problem, easily solved. And now Richy still has the staircase problem. And, you know, that is where some of that parity comes into play. You don't actually want to build those kind of staircases, as I like to call them. You like to have spaces of too wide. You want to create those spaces that are too wide because most pieces can fit in those. And that's the general idea. So if you have only like those little one nubs and lots of staircases, or also called saw, you know, like saw teeth, basically, it's not a good field.
Yeah, and all of that playfield management, making sure that you're set up for Tetris, but yet set up to accommodate anything else and have good parity is, you know, it's all part of the risk management and the challenge of competitive classic Tetris.
Okay. Right now, this is important. I can't even believe I'm saying this. This is important that Joseph right now has an 86% Tetris rate to Richy's only 75% rate right now, because as we saw, he needs to have every advantage that he can get to be able to beat the rolling of Richy.
Right. Joseph, you know, being the tapper still, even though Joseph has taken up practicing rolling, he's not using it yet.
Right.
So he is in a situation where he wants to make all of his points pre-29 if possible and get whatever he can with tapping when level 29 hits, probably having a low playfield going in, maybe even setting up the playfield for Center Wells to get those last couple of Tetrises in.
kind of an awkward build here. There we go. Oh, and then just happened to block it. And again, you know, when you play modern Tetris, having 3 preview slots is such an advantage. And you'll see a lot of the times the players here today, you know, they're banking on the fact they're playing by probability, because you only get the third piece of your preview, you know, right when the next piece jumps in here. So a lot of times you're like waiting out for the long bar, doesn't show up, I give up. And then as soon as you block it, the long bar shows up and it's too late to make that adjustment. And having those extra preview slots is such a convenience in modern Tetris.
Yeah, here you just have the one, and you have to make a micro adjustment sometimes when you see that next piece and change your decision. And having the maneuverability, you know, with being able to have the reflexes to adjust on the fly is definitely a skill.
Yeah, both players have dropped a little bit in their Tetris rates. You can see Joseph down to that 76%, Richy at 72%. So Richy's maintained it a little bit better here.
And I mentioned before, maybe I didn't mean to take away from Joseph's ability to play at 29, because he can. And actually, he was one of the very first players to be able to push those limits to, you know, set those records going post 29. Joseph was the innovator in post 29 play, and you can never take that away from him. And whether he takes up rolling or continues being a tapper, Joseph is still incredibly decorated in terms of level 29 play. So we want to see that performance here. Maybe he'll continue to be dominant with the tapping.
Now Richy, unfortunately, with a J requirement on the left over there, going to get through there. Is he going to try to send himself a dirty Tetris? No, he's going to burn and go for the Tetris on the transition. You've mentioned wanting to have a very clean field on the transition. And so there we go. Both players with very, very nice fields for their transition. Joseph still not being able to get set up for a Tetris here. Gonna opt for a burn. Finally is Tetris ready. You saw that little micro adjustment at the end, and boom! Tetris for Joseph. Yeah.
So here we go. Scores are neck and neck, and we are into level 19 plus speeds, heading into level 29, where we're gonna see possibly more kill screen action.
Yeah. It's like I said, we have the potential here for 5 matches of just double max out, double kill screen. And, you know, to even imagine that this would have been possible a few years ago, people would have said you were crazy. There's no way people would have believed you. But yet here we are.
And well, we also might not have known about just this entire new generation being ushered in, you know, by players like Joseph.
Exactly. And, you know, I often make the comparison for the poker fanatics out there, what Chris Moneymaker did for World Series of Poker when he was the first, you know, quote amateur to win, and it ushered in a bunch of new players. Joseph did the same thing for Classic Tetris. Really ushering in a whole new generation of players by taking down Jonas, R.I.P. Jonas, of course, one of the greats of all time, and you just can't talk about Classic Tetris without mentioning
Richy
Jonas.
with some dependencies. Let's see if rolling can get him out of this. Good adjustments, getting the right pieces to solve that and burn down.
Oh,
T-spin set up.
T-spin,
Wow,
yes!
T-spin. Look, what a dig. Oh, and Joseph
and now
out.
Joseph topped out too. We were all watching to see if Richy could get out. So we're
Richy
not
was
going to
in
get a
trouble
kill screen.
first and was able to dig out, but Joseph was not. So now we have a
drought.
very small chase down.
Look
Oh
at
no!
this drought.
Oh my goodness!
Oh.
Holy! That was Richy's game to take.
And look at
Richy
their
was
screen.
safer with the burns.
Look at their screens, 29, 27. They were taken out by the exact same drought. They both just happened to get a high stack at a long drought sequence. And so what happened right there was Richy was thinking, there's no way this drought is gonna get up to 30 pieces. And it definitely did, and he did not get a chance to burn.
That's the biggest plot twist I've ever seen in an ending of a match in recent memory. What was that? It was just like Joseph with a 20,000 point deficit topping out. Or he had 20,000 point lead. Richy only had to make 20,000 points. Like just the Tetris would have done it. And instead of burning, let it build up high, and it never gave him the long bar, and Joseph manages to take that one. So Richy is fighting for his tournament life now, this being a best of 5 set. So Joseph on the verge of taking this match.
And actually, it was back-to-back droughts, because I'm looking at their line numbers now.
Yeah,
Joseph was down at 188. So Richy definitely survived the drought that took out Joseph. But
you were watching Richy fight to survive with that amazing dig, by the way, that Richy showed off there. Surviving that, it took out Joseph, but the next drought took Richy out.
And here we go, game number 4.
3, 2, 1, Tetris!
Tetris! Let's go. And again, oh man, this is such a crazy start right now. I mean,
Richy with a slight misgift at the start.
Are you not entertained? Oh man. What a way
Tetris,
to start off.
It has become entertainment.
This is match number 1. This is the first match, and we are starting out with a big drought. Again, you know, this is not going to be a problem. Both players should be able to survive this. I don't want to commentators curse anybody, because I've definitely done that before. There you go. Boom. Dirty Tetris for Richy, and he should be able to get out of here. Gonna burn right through there, and there you go. Clean field. Neutral playing field again.
Yeah.
Okay. And now Joseph, with a little bit of an awkward screen there, needs to clear out the left side of his screen a little bit more. He should be able to get that with 2 eyepieces. So there we go. He's back to the neutral playing field. And boom, Tetris for Joseph. Meanwhile, Richy with, again, a little bit of a dig. And again, I mentioned this. This is really important right now, because you can see it's 64% versus 29%. Now, we're very early on, so Rich is going to be able to get that percentage up very, very quickly if he can just get some more Tetrises. But here's another drought, and boom, there you go. Finally, a Tetris for Richy.
Yeah, Joseph opening up a slight lead, but that was due to mostly a bit of a dig on Richy's part early on in the round.
And here we go. Boom, Tetris for Joseph now. Joseph at 68%. Richy building up to 47%.
Yep, Richy looking clean now, looking to score. So scores are starting to even up now.
Just waiting for that long bar. There it is. And boom, Tetris for Richy. Yeah, and again, playing fairly aggressive right now. But again, another pseudo drought here. But perfect timing for Richy, being able to clear off that column 10 that he had blocked up. And that was a nice Tetris for him. And boom, Tetris now once again for Richy.
Yeah, Joseph with a better Tetris rate here, going strong into this game. And I noticed Richy covering the well, but then very skillfully either burning it off within the next couple of pieces, or even sometimes turning it into a dirty Tetris like we saw earlier.
Yeah, one of the other things I'd like to mention about this, you know, differences between this and modern Tetris, you'll notice that, you know, they burn a lot because they need to, because of how difficult it is, but it also doesn't hurt their score as badly as modern Tetrises. Modern Tetrises have the back-to-back bonuses, where, you know, without burning in between. That doesn't happen here in S Tetris, so you can go ahead and burn, and the Tetrises are going to be the same scores no matter what.
And always better to burn as little as possible, so that, you know, each one of those lines can possibly be used for a Tetris. And when you've got same piece sets like this, that is kind of like the thing you want to, you know, whether you risk burning or using it for Tetris. Yeah, Richy getting up high, but Roller's showing no fear high up on the screen.
And Joseph with a little bit of an awkward screen now. He needs to get through there. And yeah, as long as he doesn't keep oh no, that's an awkward build.
That's going to be a bit of a dig for Joseph. Let's see how he gets out of this.
Yeah, this is the opportunity now for Richy to be able to catch up in points.
And there it is.
Yeah. Now you can see Richy with the lead at this point. So now he has the higher Tetris rate at 69%. So again, this is risky for Joseph now because we've seen, you know, Richy have that survivability and ability to keep getting Tetrises, you know, after the kill screen. And you can even see it, like, it's crazy, 62%. And we see Joseph shaking his head. This is the standard, you know, Tetris head shake. You're always like, man, I wish I was getting better pieces. But at a 60%, that's still max out pace. And we have players shaking their head right now.
Yeah. And we're heading towards the level 19 transition. We're at 115, 116 lines now for Richy. So they want to get their playfields in better shape. Joseph, yeah, kind of having to do some burning here. And yeah, they're both going through a drought now.
Yeah, all right. There you go. Boom Tetris for Richy. Joseph back to a neutral screen. He just needs a long bar.
Boom Tetris for Joseph. And boom Tetris for Richy. Here we go, level 19. Richy is off to the races.
Yeah, Richy definitely has about a 1 Tetris lead. And so
now
here we
about
go.
2.5.
Yeah. And look at Richy again playing aggressive, but this game has been full of droughts for players. You know, one of the disadvantages of playing online as compared to offline is players could actually notice when other people had the droughts. And if they are listening, I mean, they could be listening to us commentate, but sometimes they could play slow on purpose and then hear, oh, this player has a drought, and then they know the drought is coming up on their side. But I don't think they have that ability here. Now
I
that
think
we're playing
they
online.
might be able to look at Max Out Club to see certain things.
Gotcha.
And I remember that you know, Joseph was one of the first players I ever noticed doing screen looking. So awareness of your opponent's situation is a skill. And whether or not, I'm not sure who uses or employs those strategies, but I know Joseph was one of those that did.
Yeah, and again, make sure you pay attention to the number of lines they've completed. Even if I say something like they have a 1 Tetris lead and it looks like they have more than that, that's because at the time, Joseph was down by 4 lines. So 1 more Tetris would have put him exactly 1 behind.
So right now, Richy has a 129,000 point lead, quite ahead. Joseph having a bit more time, few lines behind, but still Joseph has some work to do to catch up, especially considering Richy's ability, extreme ability to use rolling on 29. Look at Richy getting that long bar over to the left to stack it up so high. Wow, passing up the Tetris. What's up with that?
And boom Tetris for Richy, 73%.
Richy just mocking the RNG there. Wow, no fear, no respect for the RNG.
And look at this, look at what this is doing. Remember the year that Joseph was able to take it over Jonas? You know, one of the things that we said on commentary was it was one of the first times we felt like Jonas was being pushed, because he had always been just kind of like casually, you know, outplaying everybody else and being able to relax. Joseph, I feel like, is feeling that same kind of pressure this year. He's at a 64% Tetris rate, and he is pushing as hard as he can.
Yeah, and Joseph, really wanting to kind of put this away because he is 1 game away from taking this series and eliminating Richy. But Richy, strong going in now. Scores are neck and neck, and Joseph with some lines to get. Oh, Joseph's left side. Left side's gonna be major problem for Joseph. Oh no! Hangs up on the left, and that's gonna do it. And Richy is gonna take that round. We're going to go to a decider.
And you see the expression on Joseph's face, just like with the slap to the forehead. Like, really? I played so well, and I still can't take this. With a 23,000 point lead to get to the kill screen, 64% Tetris rate was not good enough.
That was a really close game. Actually, Richy had been ahead for a while. It was up by over 100,000 points. Joseph fought back, got it back to neck and wasn't able to fill in that left side. And he saw where the misdrop was and knew that left side was going to be a problem. And there was a chance he'd be able to get something over, but wasn't able to pull it off. So that's how close this is. We're going to go to a decider. So here we go. Final game in this match.
That's right. Last year's tied for 5th place, multiple time winner, Joseph Saley on the left.
Tetris.
Going up against newcomer, Richy. Well, not newcomer, but new to this year, I should say.
I think overall it may still, be a relatively new player, like part of the new generation, raising or dropping the bar, as we say.
Exactly.
And Joseph, really the innovator, helping to usher in that new generation. So,
yeah. All right, boom, Tetris for both players. Simul Tetris to start up. You see their scores are exactly the same. Which we'll often see early on, but we saw one burn right there from Richy. Now Richy, got to clear out a little bit on the right side over there, no problem.
Yep, just a matter of balancing, the cleanliness of your board, and that is a factor.
Yep. Okay, nice little micro adjustment right there from Richy, and now both of them with Tetris is set up. Boom, Tetris for both players again. You see 90% rate versus the 86%. It's just started. Little bit of an awkward drop right there for Joseph. You even saw him kind of shaking his head like, what in the world just even happened there?
Yeah, so Joseph's gonna have to do a small dig to get back into scoring position.
Yeah, a lot of the times when you're watching players try to dig, it's so important to notice that they can't keep covering up that gap. A lot of the beginner players to Tetris, while they're cleaning, they keep accidentally covering the hole because they're not looking multiple rows down, essentially.
Yeah.
Joseph needs to set himself up a Tetris.
Yeah, Richy taking the lead due to that little dig by Joseph, but Joseph is in position to score again.
Except he's getting kind of a little awkward drought. There it is. Okay, boom, Tetris for Joseph. Yeah, needs to clean out there. Perfect. Oh, I like that micro adjustment from Joseph.
He saw the long bar coming and made a place for the long bar, which normally would have caused the dependency, but since he saw the long bar coming, he could just use the long bar to keep his play field clean.
Yep, and I'm going to say it again, but right now, Joseph is in a dangerous position right now with only 67% Tetris rate compared to the 88% Tetris rate that we see from Richy's side.
And that was just due to a dig resulting from a misdrop. So, kind of like a butterfly effect of things going on affecting the score.
Joseph now with kind of an awkward screen.
Yeah. Okay, he was able to get the long bar over to the left and use the box to clear that out, so.
Yeah, but you see, every time he gets the eyepieces, he hasn't been able to get the Tetrises. Okay, gets one there. But again, down to 68%. Like I said, every year previously right now, we'd be marveling at the amazing 68%, 70%. But this year, it's a completely different story.
Boom, Tetris for Joseph.
And, again, for those people wondering who just tuned in and is wondering what's making the difference, it is this rolling technique that has been discovered and perfected by a lot of players this year. Is it fair to say that Cheese was the discoverer of rolling and the pioneer of rolling?
That's the general consensus, is that, he was sharing and discussing the technique first, although I do like how Game Scout did the video on rolling and actually showed, Jonas was discussing it with that guitar player, like some kind of technique where multiple fingers could be applied, but it hadn't been turned into something you could apply to a NES controller until Cheese did it.
Right. It was the track and field technique. For the old folk in the audience there, if I mentioned track and field, they'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's definitely that. And I remember Joust had a technique called hyper flapping. They actually called it hyper flapping back then because you ride this winged ostrich and you had to hit the button as fast as you could to make it fly. So flapping was a thing back in the 80s.
We are having an awkward build right now for Richy. He has been trying to get out of this mess for a while. And again, it's not going to kill him. It's not going to be a problem. It's just obviously the percentage is dropping down. And he is getting some unfortunate RNG. The pieces that he's getting are definitely not optimal for the clean that he's looking for. Oh, okay, finally he's getting close here. He had the ability to dig out there, but he made a micro adjustment that I feel like was actually not necessary. But he should be able to get a Tetris now.
Ooh, Vits for Joseph in the middle of the board. Wow. That's a vertical I-tuck setup where you create a space for the long bar and tuck it in where you kind of don't use it for a Tetris, but you use it just to create a perfect stack, and that's what Joseph did.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I do miss about offline is, you know, usually you get the players doing stuff like that, and you definitely get the audience clapping in reaction at just some of the amazing play and some of the digs that you'll see from these players. Here we go. Here we have a 15-piece drought. Joseph got to do a little burning. Still has the Tetris ready to go. Boom, Tetris for Joseph. Both players have transitioned here. 74 to 75% Tetris rate. It is neck and neck, but here we go. Okay, not a problem.
Richy. And another Tetris for Richy. We are neck and neck, as James just said. Yeah.
For a second there, I thought Richy was in trouble, but what was I thinking? No trouble at all.
Just a clean board, and we're off to the races here.
A little bit too early on that tuck attempt. Yeah, he tried to tuck a little bit too early. Now, okay, there we go. Gets the burn. He needs the J piece now. Where's the J piece? Okay, the I piece is going to help. Perfect. Now he's out of there, and Tetris ready, and boom, Tetris for Richy.
And Joseph set up, super clean board, looking really good here. And boom, Tetris for Joseph. 800,000 now, up by 2 Tetrises, now 3.
Yeah, but again, look at the line count right there. Richy is down by 10 lines. So even though the score says, that he's up by a lot, it's not truly a lead right now.
Yeah, it's about a Tetris difference in scoring potential with the number of lines between them.
Yeah. And Joseph, again, has to play so aggressive. There is basically no room for him to just kind of go for a little bit extra safer play. He's in a little bit of a trouble spot here. He has a reliance on that J, finally gets it, and now needs to clean. Can he get that before the eyepiece comes? He does. But now, the question is, where's the eyepiece? Got a 27 piece. There it is. Yeah.
And boom, another Tetris for Joseph. Now 9,000 points, 989,000 points. He's about to max out with the next Tetris.
And meanwhile, over here on Richy's side, you can see he's running into that drought that we just saw Joseph run into.
Joseph, max out.
Max out at level 27 again. And again, some unfortunate RNG right now for Richy. Is he going to go for the dirty Tetris? I believe he's going to go for it if he can.
Richy goes aggressive.
He's set up for it.
Boom, Tetris for Richy. Nice dirty Tetris on level 26.
Yep. 68%.
Joseph with a legitimate score lead. Richy's probably going to have to rely on post 29 play to catch up.
But here we go.
Oh,
bad screen
Joseph
right now for Joseph. And he has to do this. Okay. Chase down. Time for a chase down.
Here is a chase down situation for Richy. Richy with a clean board. Boom, Tetris for Richy. Needs to get 1,067,000 to catch up to Joseph. So that's about 3 Tetrises.
And he's set up for another one. This, again, I don't want a commentator's curse anyone. He's got a nice open playfield. Boom, he just needs one more Tetris. He's at level 29. Can he do this? This is where the rolling is going to come. Oh my God!
Joseph takes it. Joseph takes it. Richy not able to do the chase down. Oh my goodness! What a finish!
I
Richy
can't
was
believe
all
it.
set up for it, and really it just came down to board management, and the kill screen came, and Richy not able to get that Tetris on 29. It doesn't get any closer than that. Look at those scores. It was just a Tetris difference. Just the long bar timing. Wow.
And you could see it on Joseph's face. I think Joseph was almost certain he was done for, gonna exit the tournament in 7th place this year, but no, the kill screen came just in time, and perhaps maybe the nerves for Richy catching up to him again. You know, this is his first time in top 8, 19 years old. It's kind of a do or die situation that he probably hasn't run into on this big of a stage. And I can't even tell you how much nerves can affect you. And the scariest thing about this is the next match coming up that we will be showing you guys is going to be Huff versus Tetris Time, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and so basically, if Huff is able to take that, Joseph might have to face another roller.
Before that, we are going to actually get to interview Richy here, who is a top 8 finalist, and let's get his thoughts. And we're going to go to David McDonald and Richy.
Richy, holy moly!
Hey.
Congratulations on an insane matchup. So you mentioned how watching Joseph win the CTWC was the inspiration for you to start playing. How does it feel to have played Joseph in a CTWC match?
Oh my gosh, what can I say? That was absolutely insane. I mean, Joseph, just look at him. He's a celebrity. He's featured in a viral video. I mean, at one point, we've all idolized him before. So it's kind of crazy to be seen on like an even playing field. You know, to go up against him head to head, it's not something I've ever anticipated. If you told me that would be where I was like 2 years ago, if you told me I was going to be facing Joseph in CTWC, that would have blown my mind. I would have said, you're crazy. Yeah, it was insane. The dream come true.
Yeah, so you mentioned you had trained specifically to have the edge on 29. You had probably an all-timer for the CTWC in that Game 2 incredible match where you and Joseph were battling it out on the thrill screen, as it's now often called. Can you take us through what was going through your mind as you entered 29 on that game?
I'm so glad I got that game in. Yeah, I could see out of the corner of my eye, Joseph was still going. Like, I was going level 30, level 31, and Joseph was still there. I was like, this is not happening right now. I mean, you could look at my face. I didn't really have much of an expression. I was just going to like Zen mode, trying to tap into my experience as much as I could. And I was just banging down Tetris after Tetris. Everything came together in that moment, I think. Yeah, that was an incredible game.
So how does it feel going through a decider match where everything's on the line? Obviously, when you're practicing, everything you can start over, you can play as many games as you want. But when it's do or get eliminated, what was going through your mind at the end of that final game?
I think I should have lost the game before that. That was totally ludicrous for me to be put in that position. But I just dug deep. I was like, this is the one chance you have. The game threw you a bone, or the universe threw you a bone in that moment. Yeah, I just had to dig in there. I had to totally focus, eliminate all distractions. I think I don't really remember what happened. So it's all a blur. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to watch it back if I want to comment on it. That's just yeah, that's how it goes.
Well, I'm sure we'll have plenty of time in the future discussions, the future analysis to look back on this match, because it will be one to be remembered. You put up an amazing performance. I'm sure you can be proud, and the people who were cheering for you can be proud. I think you've been an inspiration as one of the 2 rollers to make the top 8. And so where do you see yourself going from here? Do you have any future goals in NES Tetris? Will we see you back next year?
I want to try to be back here next year. I think I have a pretty comfortable position in terms of the upper echelon of players. I'm kind of at the front of the wave of rollers. There's going to be a lot of new people picking up the technique by next year. So it's going to be a very crowded field, but I think I'm in a good position to, if I keep practicing, I'll stay ahead of the curve. So in terms of future plans, I hope to get a 29 start max out. For other goals, I think I'm going to be here next year. Yeah, I'm going to try to make it next year. It's going to be in person, so it's going to be cool.
Awesome. Yeah, the 29 start max out, one of the very elusive remaining goals that no one has yet done on 29, and I'm sure you'll be at the forefront of that chase for it. So
Yes,
we
absolutely.
can't wait. We can't wait to see what you do next. Thanks so much, Richy. It was great to hear from you.
I'd like to say hats off to Joseph for such an iconic performance. I mean, for me, I can't really be disappointed with a performance like that myself. Even the title of CTWC Top 8 is enough to leave satisfied. I've already won in my eyes. So I'm not leaving with my head down. My head is held up high. It's a performance to be proud of. I'm very glad. Shout out to my cousins who are watching right now. Shout out to everybody watching and supporting me. Thank you so much.
All right, so what a way to kick off our top 8. Such a great match.
Did he say he was trying to go for a level 29 max out?
I guess so. I mean, if you could survive that long at level 29, that's great training for the highest level of competition like this. And can you imagine if Richy continues to practice that? The entire field's going to be quaking in their Tetris boots due to that ability to roll on 29 and survive that long. So looking forward to that.
People
We
said
will
that
be seeing Richy again in this competition.
Yeah, people are saying that he's already gotten 700K on a 29 start. So he's actually not even that far behind. So again, this is just absolute insanity. And I don't know how my cat knows every time I'm on camera. She hasn't been here this whole time. And then as soon as, the camera comes back, she just comes waltzing in. She knows. But
Yeah, I got my cats here too.
oh, yeah. Nice, yeah. But again, the level of play here is ridiculous, and what we are starting to see right now, who would have ever thought that we would be getting to this point? It's absolute just insanity where Tetris is, and that was the first match. That was the first match of the top 8, and we have so many more to go.
We've got much more to go, and so. Leading into that, a big shout outs to Tetris Effect Connected for being our sponsor once again for this year's tournament. We wouldn't be able to have such a cool sort of like a Tetris competition season. Like leading up to this, we had Connected 2021, which used the classic score attack mode in the game, which they implemented, which simulates what we're doing here in the CTWC with classic NES Tetris, except you could play it on a modern platform. So they just recently brought it up for Nintendo Switch, but it's out on Steam, Epic Game Store PC, Windows Store PC, PlayStation 4, Oculus, and Xbox One and Xbox Series S, and Xbox in general.